Faith No More, The Real Thing. 11 tracks for 55 minutes. The third studio album from the US 5-piece. Released June 89 via Slash. Produced by Matt Wallace and the band. 5 singles were released. From Out of Nowhere, Epic, Falling to Pieces, Surprise, You're Dead, and The Edge of the World. Taking them up to number 11 in the US, number 30 in the UK, number 2 here in Australia, going platinum in the US, gold in the UK. This album was also nominated for a couple of Grammys and was the first with Mike Patton on vocals, who replaced Chuck Mosley. Chuck Mosley recently passed away, so condolences to his family. Go for it.
As a practicing member of the Faith No More Spiritual and Theological Centre, there's a Bill and Ted reference for anyone there. I'm going to find it hard to say anything negative about this album at all. It fucking rocks. From the opening chord, it just punches you in the face. It sounds great. It sounded great then. It sounds great now. It sounded really new and fresh at the time. I'd never heard anything like it. You had this metal guitars, pounding drums, very clever use of keys and driving bass lines, and then they'd sort of go funky. It just had it all for me. And of course, it had Mike Patton. Enough said. Like most, the first song I heard was Epic, and as a 14-year-old, it was a bit conflicting, the whole sort of rap metal thing. But listening to the whole album, there's just so much variety over those 11 tracks that I can overlook the rap metal thing and just get on with it. I just think the album is an absolute masterpiece. I think the cover of War Pigs is phenomenal. It's great. I'd go far and say it's better than the original, which will probably get me beat up.
No, I won't do that.
Fuck! I will.
I won't.
Look, and when every other band was sort of churning out cheesy ballads, when it come to a slow track, Faith No More closed out the album with Edge of the World, which is a slow, jazzy, groovy sort of song with bouncy piano. It's bloody wonderful. It's compulsory listening to everyone, I think. If you don't have it, unfuck that. I scored it a 10 out of 10. Highlights for me is From Out of Nowhere, Falling to Pieces, Surprise You're Dead, Zombie Eaters, The Real Thing, and War Pigs.
Nice.
Wow. I actually wrote a foreword to this review. Okay, it went, I am not a fan of Faith No More. I've heard of Epic and I like that guitar riff in it. Apart from that, nothing has ever grabbed me about this band. I'm going to try and listen to this album with an open mind. Then I got to my review. It's a good sounding album. Each instrument comes across nice and clear, especially the bass and drums. It was no doubt a great hybrid of styles in 1989 and brought together fans of different genres.
Why do I feel like he's patronising us right now?
No, I'm just trying to be honest. Some good groove moments. I think the vocals is what turns me off this band. Groundbreaking and good for what it is. I'm sure people love it. It's just not for me. I don't get it. 5 out of 10, neutral score. Epic is okay.
I understand the challenges to listen to this band, especially one in the context of this, but also when it came out, it was something so new that it was just tearing everything apart. But that's what I loved about it. For me, what a difference a change of vocalist makes. There was much more freedom for the band to express themselves with Mike Patton out front. Chuck Mosley did his job, but compared to Mike Patton, it's chalk and cheese, as much as that sucks to say in the current circumstances of things. This album is well ahead of the curve in terms of what to become musically in general. Groundbreaking in a heap of ways, in my opinion, would be influential for years to come. This kicks off one of the best album opening durations-wise that I've ever heard. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. It doesn't really tail away until sort of 5 or 6 tracks in. Mike Patton is one of the greats, as far as I'm concerned. A brilliant vocalist, a better lyricist, incredibly sharp at what he does, and he can do fucking anything. The man learns entire languages just to record a song. This is a pretty fun and energetic album, but there's a lot of darkness about this and more than a little black humour. Musically, it's hard to lock down. It's got bits of everything from thrash to funk to hip-hop, progressive metal, hard rock, and more. This is the true definition of alternative, in my opinion. Amazing amounts of talent on display. The writing and performances are impeccable. The production isn't as big as I remembered it being. Like, I remember when it came out, it was this huge sound, and then you go back to it after not listening to it for a while, and it's like, it doesn't sound as big anymore. I just think production values have shifted over the years. It still sounds good, but it's just one of those things. It's a little more raw now by comparison on things that have gone on. It's not detracting, it's an observation. But that said, the balance in the mix is fantastic. It's hard to capture everything going on, but they've done that well. I reckon this set the tone almost literally for a lot of bass players out there coming up after this. The layering was awesome, especially again with the synth work. Just the right mix to fill the sound wall out just right. I love the use of space in that aspect as well, in the production and the writing. On top of that, Patton doesn't overdo a goddamn thing. He can do anything, but he knows when to serve the song and just dial it back and just do what he's supposed to do, not do what he wants to do. The track order is good. It kicks your ass for the first handful of songs and then progressively becomes a little more intricate as the album goes deeper. Makes a longer listen more than entertaining enough. That aspect is also helped by the sheer creativity and brilliance of the band's writing, Dave. Individual changes within the songs are also fantastic, and the drumming is amazing on this record. The drums and bass really help to make this band what it is. Woodpecker from Mars is one hell of an instrumental too, and for all my talk of the other elements, don't worry, the guitar work is just as good as everything else, followed by an awesome cover of War Pigs. I won't say it's better than the original, but I will say it's pretty fucking good. A unique album from a unique band that is remarkably accessible to one and all, unless you're Dave. One you truly should check out for yourselves and make up your own mind about. I love it, however, it's nothing short of brilliant. It might be touched too long in the final breakdown of things for me, but I did give it a 9.5 out of 10. From Out of Nowhere, Falling to Pieces, Epic, Zombie Eaters, The Morning After, my standouts. Check it out, give us your thoughts.